By January 1st, 1994, nearly $2 million have been spent by prosecutors and police departments in California jurisdictions on the investigation of Michael Jackson. Two grand juries have questioned more than 200 witnesses, including 30 children who have been friends of Michael's over the years. Not one witness could be found who could corroborate Jordan Chandler's story, and without other witnesses, the authorities' case against Michael was weak. Perhaps Michael had the undying loyalty of the youngsters with whom he had, or maybe all of those who had investigated the singer were inept, or was it possible that he was innocent? 11 January marked Jordan's 14th birthday and he had no party. He wasn't even in the mood to celebrate. He had when he blew out the candles on his cake. Evan asked him to make a wish. I wish this nightmare would end, he said. As a gift, Evan gave him a bottle of mace for his protection. On that same day, more damage was done to Michael's image when transcripts of depositions on the Jackson Chandler Silva suit. Hang on. I just want to point out that next month, Jordan will be 43. All right? 43. He'll be 43 next month. All right? Were filed in Los Angeles Superior Court as part of a motion brought by attorney Larry Feldman, arguing that he should be allowed to access Michael's financial records since, as he put it, there is substantial probability that his client will prevail in the suit. Feynman filed the transcripts as a demonstration of the evidence against Jackson. Also included was a new declaration from Jordan, who had repeated the original allegations he had made about Michael to police and social workers. Transcripts filed by Larry Feldman included sworn depositions from Michael Jackson's former chauffeur, former maids, and secretaries. Truth or fiction, it didn't matter. All of it was now a part of the public record, composed as they were mostly of hearsay, speculation, and innuendo, and much of it from people who already been paid handsomely by tabloid television programs and newspapers to reveal all about their boss. It was difficult to imagine that such statements would have been given such credence by a jury. No doubt Jordan Chandler's detailed testimony would be been the most damaging to Michael. One wondered though how a jury would have reacted to the fact that the original allegation that Michael had was given while under a mid alteration drug, and what of the question of Michael's being circumcised or not. In the end, it will be Michael's word against Jordan's because there are no witnesses to many episodes, but then again, there are rarely witnesses to such events. Due to his celebrity status, it was possible that Michael could prevail at the civil trial. A amount of circumstantial evidence, not to mention the impact that might be made on a jury by his raw-minded determination to continue flaunt young boys in public, was probably not enough to secure a verdict against him. However, the question was then, was it worth it for him to find out? His attorneys didn't think so, feeling that more harm than good would occur by having so many disclosures made public. Plus, what if he really was guilty? What was such a trial due to the already victimized Jordan Chandler? Though Jordan certainly wasn't the primary consider of Michael's attorneys, they empathized with him and felt a sense of responsibility to him simply because of his youth. They probably didn't care much about his father, though, not after all what had occurred. When Larry Feldman began snooping into Michael's finances, he had crossed the line. A lot of trouble business had gone down for Michael, but once Philman started demanding information about his bank accounts, we knew the game was over, saying one of Michael's advisors. You can take pictures of Michael, but he's not gonna like it. But once you start trying to figure out how much money he has, that's where he stops playing around. Unbeknownst to even Michael's attorneys, Lisa Marie Presley also tried to influence his decision to settle. As a seasoned survivor of many publicity wars, she had long thought that Michael should end up the matter with a cash payout. She was finally able to convince him that, as she later put it, some things, like a good night's sleep, are more important than public opinion. He wanted to get on with his life, Michael said, so that he could finally marry Lisa. Not much movement had occurred in their relationship once his proposal to her on the telephone, and he was afraid that she was becoming impatient with him. The only thing I got out of therapy was that my responsibility to have a good life, he said, and maybe I can have that with Lisa. With Lisa. I don't want to lose her now. Indeed, Michael Jackson was finally leaning toward paying Amateur the money Jordan's father had originally sought. They've worn me down, I admit it, he told one of his attorneys. He wondered what more they could do to humiliate me, to ruin me. I don't know what else they could do but to pay the guy. The attorney suggested that perhaps they should have done as much at the beginning of the debacle. It's not like we didn't try now, is it? Michael observed wearily. What a nightmare it has been. To not only end up back at square one, he concluded, as he was so unhappy about all of it. He wished he could just crawl into a hole. Another thing had also changed for Michael. He no longer wanted to think about Jordan and Chandler. No one could even mention the youngster's name to him. If, as they say, a thin line exists between love and hate, Michael seemed to cross it over after he was forced to pose for the police. The subject of Jordan was off limits from that day onward. On January 16th, Michael hosted a party for 200 underprivileged children at Neverland. There he was on news broadcasts all over the world, conversing with children and gaily leading them in their fun day like a Pied Piper. Some observers wondered if he had any sense at all. His observers were more frustrated than they were angry. I give up, said one. I give up. Marcus' behavior would never change. That much was clear. True to form, he was going to continue what he was wanting to do, and that will have to be the end of it. On January 25th, 1994, Michael Jackson agreed to pay $17 million to Jordan Chandler, Emmett Chandler, Junior Chandler Schwartz, and attorney Larry Feldman. In the end, no criminal charges would be brought against Michael by the police or the grand juries, who cited a lack of evidence. They had many witnesses, said the police, but no victims who actually wanted to testify against Michael Jackson. All's well that ends well, said Anthony Pellicano bitterly. From the beginning, this case was always about how much money the father could get out of Michael Jackson. So he got what he wanted, I guess. Attorney Michael Freeman, who had represented June Chandler Schwartz, said that, in his opinion, Michael was innocent of any wrongdoing. I think he was wrongly accused, said the attorney. I think that Evan Chandler and Barry Rothman saw an opportunity and went for it. That's my personal held opinion. I believe it was all about money, and the strategy obviously worked. Elizabeth Taylor's comment about the NOA investigation and legislation was classic spin Dr. Liz. Thank God this case is being dismissed, she said. Michael's love of children is one of the purest things I've ever seen. It shines like an extra sun, despite the media's distorted lens. I always knew this would be thrown out of the court, and I'm so grateful.